just entered the bear crawling nation and my Mordant world. This is our Mordant Mon, and welcome to the other side of live.
Hello, caller.
Hello, it's Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you? Welcome, everybody, to Mordant World Live. If you are here, I have one viewer. Rock Girl, join the room. Welcome, everybody, to Mordant World Live. We're only 30 minutes late in this lovely February 1st. Everything worked so well the first time in our inaugural, I don't know, our Virgin Voyage. And now that we should know how everything works so wonderfully, it's just not. We've spent the last half an hour plus trying to fix everything. I apologize to everybody, all two of you who are listening now. Welcome to Mordant World Live. That's awesome. Hi, Ronnie Rocks. How are you?
Doing great. I've had a really great day.
Excellent. My day has been most interesting. I am in Arizona. This is my room. I am mostly set up in it. I have spent most of the day in preparation for this. So first of all, I want to welcome everybody to this show, and my co-host or producer is Charles Big C from Bear Crawling Nation. He will be talking with us throughout the rest of. I am going to do this for an hour throughout the rest of this hour. We also have Naomi Mimi, who is in the chat room chatting with people because I found it very difficult to talk to both things at once. So, hello, everybody.
Well, I still haven't figured out how to make the photos show up on the Stickin' page. I might have made a mistake by signing into the Twitter chat. Did it give me that instead? I don't know. It doesn't look exactly the same as last time, so I've done something differently.
Right. Now, is anybody getting echo? Do I need to mute all, or are we doing fine?
Good. Everything's good. We can all breathe now.
Welcome to the relationship and romance version of Mordant World Live. It is February, and of course, February is Valentine's Day month, so it is our romance and relationship version of this show that we're going to be doing. This is also, I believe we are recording everything, so this is also going to be with my new podcast show, The Other Side of Life. I have my notes over on this side, which is why I keep looking over there. So, The Other Side of Life. I've joined the Bear Crawling Nation, and I decided to change the name so that it's fitting. So, that's what's happening with that.
Yay!
Yay! Charles, why don't you say hi to everybody right now? Let you know that you're in the house.
I thought we agreed. I'd be C Mordant Mon, because you guys got to catch them all, right? Like Pokemon, Mordant Mon.
Right. So you are C Mordant Mon, Charles Mordant Mon. All Mordant, all day. I have people calling in. I have no idea who is calling in, but hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the party.
So there you go. So you were talking about relationships. Why don't you start us off?
Well, first of all, this is Valentine's Day month, and we're all making plans for Valentine's Day. Those of us who are doing such things. You're the only married person on this crew right now. You know, there's myself, there's Naomi Mimi, Ronnie Rocks. Well, Ronnie Rocks, you are a guest star. So what are you doing for your? What are you doing? Person? You're the guest starred married person. What are you doing for? What are you doing for Valentine's Day? Come on, you and the hubby, as you like to call him.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is the day after our anniversary, so we kind of have a party week, and it's kind of like the last week of our vacation. All of our days off kind of come at the same time, same part of the year. So sometimes we do nothing, because we're about to go back to work. And we're in the chocolate business, so buying chocolate for each other doesn't really do it.
No.
But to be honest,
Chocolate covered
having
strawberries.
the luxury of kicking back. Yeah, we sell chocolate-covered strawberries with a solar-powered booth most of the year. But honestly, being able to like put a fire in the fireplace and kick back next to each other reading fiction is really awesome. You know, but now we work together. We're business partners also, so it's nice to be in each other's space and not be brainstorming the next business endeavor.
Right, but does he ever surprise you? Does he ever have any surprises for you?
Yeah, and they're probably flowers more often than not.
Right, that's
Which makes it
nice
sound like
that
they're
the
not a
big guy does
surprise.
that.
But yeah, he totally does. Yeah.
So I just want to give a shout out to Chicky3737, our first official video person that is here.
She's
And
the
I want to say
princess.
thank you to, she is the princess. She is. She's actually on the Mordant World team. And I want to say thank you to everybody, our 11 viewers who have stuck it out and waited to see if this was actually going to be a thing happening. So thank you for doing that. All right, Charles, what are you doing for your Valentine's?
Nothing.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Your
Nope.
wife's probably in the next room, listening,
No,
waiting, hoping.
We don't. No, we hate Valentine's. We totally think it's a bogus, made-up holiday because we realized it's taking more of our money for crap that we don't want when we really do, honestly, try to each day of the year. I mean, I don't want to make it sound sappy romantic. We don't actually try to celebrate each other each day of the year, but it's like, for today, if my wife said, hey, you know, I would like to just do something special for myself. I would like to, you know, go out to eat. I'm going to take her out. If she wants something, she gets it, you know, or sometimes I'll just swing by the grocery store and pick up her favorite chocolates or candy. We feel like if you just celebrate your marriage once a year, you're kind of missing the point and you're overpaying.
Yeah.
That's just us. So
I'm
no,
in
we
total
don't
agreement.
actually.
You're in
Yeah.
total agreement with that?
I'm in total agreement with that. In that Valentine's Day is like for people that forget they're in a relationship. You know,
Yes.
oh my God, I'm in a relationship. I got to do something special. You know,
You don't think
whereas
it's you don't think it's
those
just
that are in-
another excuse to do something?
Not when the rest of the world is doing it. I just don't like people that much.
It's like well, yeah, it's like going out to dinner on Saturday night. No thanks. I'm going to go out on Tuesday night.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm going to go to a movie at 1 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon where nobody is there.
So as long as you celebrate Valentine's Day maybe a day early or a day later, so you're not doing when everybody else, you can have your little romantic day of the
Oh.
year, extra romance, a little extra.
Oh yeah,
Nah.
But you feel that a relationship and romance is something that you should be working on throughout the year, not just on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
Valentine's Day makes it such a crutch. It makes it so easy to just go to forget and neglect your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. As long as I get you flowers on Valentine's Day. But then there's the other side of it. There is the destructive side of it, where how many times, I know I've heard it, I don't know about you guys, but how many times have you heard somebody broke up with somebody the week before Valentine's Day so they didn't have to spend money on them, only to reconcile a couple weeks later?
Right. Right. Oh, her birthday's coming up. Or Christmas. I got to get out of here.
How many people sit at home crying because they don't have a Valentine? Really?
I do.
Instead of crying, you could be on Mordant World talking with us and meeting cool people. Maybe you get a Valentine.
Yeah, but just like every other man out there, I'm going to come there late to the party. A half an hour late to the episode about romance and relationships.
To your own
That's
party.
bad. To my own party, I'm late. Fashionably late. I'm cutting edge, damn it.
It's actually saying. It's actually saying how you show up in relationships. Is that what's something?
No, obviously it's something I need to work on, though. It's saying get all the details taken care of. If you're going to plan your date, if you're going to go out, if you're going to take somebody out and show them a good time, make sure that all your details are planned out, that everything's in order and ready to go. That's what it's saying. And make sure that you have a good team backing you up so that they can at least figure it out, even if it is a little bit late. And Charles really made this happen, so I got to give him a big shout out. Woot woot. And of course, Naomi Mimi is rocking the chat room, so say hi to her. And I look down once in a while just to see people are talking.
What's Naomi Mimi doing in the chat room?
Naomi Mimi is can she say hello? Naomi Mimi, are you there?
She did. She said hello.
All right,
Yep, I'm here.
there she is. There she is. What? Can you explain what you're doing in the chat room?
Hold on here just a second. Let me mute this. Otherwise, I'm getting funky delays.
I'm going to mute all. Bam.
You can't.
Okay,
I think
there
I
we
muted
go.
all.
No, I'm just seeing if anybody has anything cool or fun to say, and I'll throw out a couple trivia questions for people to go and rock their Google skills and see what they can come up with. And
That's right. We're going to have a couple of giveaways on this show. As a Valentine present. Not as an apology. We had planned it out ahead of time. Two, whatever. Two.
We didn't talk about any of
we're
this.
cutting edge, Janet.
If we weren't your friends, we wouldn't rib you like this. You realize that?
Yeah, no, you can get. I totally deserve it right now. But we were talking. Okay, I'm going to get back to something that we were just about to hit upon. We were talking about that Valentine's Day shouldn't be the only day that you're going to do something special with your mate, whether it be your wife, husband, spouse, just dating, going steady, whatever it is. And that tags into something I believe about date night. That you should always have a date night at least once a week. Even if especially if you're in a relationship. And that's something different because, you get into the routine of making sure that your family or whatever is working out for you so that, or whatever is happening at home is running, and then you sit down, you watch your TV or you talk, you do whatever it is. But you should still have that romantic date night where you do something different and you're forced to sit across from each other, talking to each other, whether it's over dinner. I prefer not a movie. If you have to do a movie and you've got nothing else that you want to do because money's tight or whatever it is, then have dinner after the movie so that you can talk about the movie, but you're going to have conversation in there somewhere. So I think that date night is very important, especially after you're married, especially after you're in a relationship. Ready, go.
Okay. Speaking as the married guy, now I know Ronnie, I believe, is married too, but from you who's not, once a week is a lot, dude. I got kids. I got work all the time. I'm working 60 hours a week. That's a lot, man. My wife cannot listen to this show.
Single guys in your position who are falling in love with somebody, working as much, if not more than you, spending as much, if not more than you on their life, are willing to go out once a week with that woman because they're moved to do that. Depends on how into her you are. And it's something that you can do. It doesn't have to be expensive either, but it should be quality time with the two of you. Even if you have to lock the kids up in another room and then you're in another room in the house.
Okay, so would you count sitting on the couch and watching some TV together that we both like, that we saved to watch, and doing a little bit of talking?
You can do that. No, I don't count that. I don't count that because you can do that anytime. It needs to be something a little more special. If I'm wrong, tell me.
I'm in nowhere, and she works, I work. We do what we can, but once a week.
Oh, twice a week?
Twice a week.
I'm not twice. I'm sorry. Once every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. Two, whatever. Two.
Maybe.
Yes, it's twice a month.
Twice a month. How about twice a month? To take,
Ronnie, and Ronnie's
Ronnie
here.
Ronnie, talk some sense into me.
Wait.
Is once a week too much?
Well,
I'm going to throw that out to the chat room as well. Is once a week too much to have a date night if you're already in a relationship? Rock Girl 2 says put it in your budget.
So does Phil.
You hate going out?
I hate going. Yeah, I hate going out. So we might make a nice dinner, but we're still going to sit around the house. Now, we don't have a television. So if we're in the house, if we're not both on the computers, which happens a lot, then we're having time together. Of course, we could also be both reading books, which we're not really having time together. But
right.
I can kind of get where Charles is coming from. That it's like it starts to feel like when my husband said last year, you know what, we haven't taken a vacation, we haven't actually gone anywhere, but the act of going somewhere was more work than just like, it's awesome, you know.
Right.
But the lining up the babysitter, which I'm trying to put myself in Charles's world, you know. I agree that once a week there should be quality time.
Okay.
And that's not any kind of euphemistic finger motion there. I'm just, but I don't necessarily think that it needs to be going out into somebody else's space, a space that somebody else designs, right. That being a restaurateur or a movie or whatever.
Right. Well, I think that the rest of the week, what you can do what I believe is you can call quantity time. And quantity time is great with your mate. It's certainly great with the kids. Kids don't care that, if you're in there playing with them, they love that. But also, I've seen children they're playing with their little men, and they'll look up to see that you're there. And if you're there, it's good. It's quantity time. You're still there. You're present. You're available. And I think that's important as well. Quantity time, with your mate, whether it's your, husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, quantity time with the kids. But then absolutely the quality time is what's very important. Some way that you guys are going to connect on a level that's a little different than what you've been doing as far as keeping the machine going. Something that's going to stir up a little bit of romantic-ish interest that's going to keep everything juicy in your life, because this is your most important relationship. This should be one of your biggest hobbies. Your relationship should be a big hobby. Those guys out there who know the football stats, you should know your wife's birthday, maybe her shoe size, I don't know, stuff like that. If you know those stats about these guys, if you want to have a fantastic relationship at home, you should find out these other things. Make it a hobby. And if it's too much effort, then you need to start stirring up that juice again, so you're hungry for that. You need to stir up that romantic interest, so you want to spend that kind of time.
But you also,
I'm just saying,
you have to have energy, and emotional and physical energy both. And sometimes you just don't. I mean, sometimes with the way life pulls everything down, not to be overly graphical here, which I won't, but you get the picture. But when it was time to be all adult and stuff, sometimes you're like, I want to, but I don't want to. And that goes with life. And I mean, if you can't get the energy to even just have fun together like you used to, it's hard to get the energy and the money and the time to get date night knocked out. But I agree. I do agree with what you're saying. And I've actually asked myself that as well. If I can get into my podcasting and my radio and all this other stuff that I do, I should be spending at least that much energy on knowing my wife and helping her.
Aha. Aha. Absolutely.
She podcasts, and I'll pay attention to her.
And there's a certain amount of, they say that physically with our bodies, move it or lose it. As we're getting older, you're becoming more sluggish, you're getting more tired. Unless you start doing things again, you start exercising again, running or playing or whatever it is, moving your body so that, oh, look, your energy's flowing more, and suddenly you have more energy. As I was getting older, there were times where I'm like, I'm not really feeling my energy, and then I'd go out dancing a few times, and then the energy started coming back because everything's moving and shaking again. The same is true energetically. The same is true romantically. If it's getting to be so that it's an effort to want to spend time and there's not that juice that used to be there, romantically moving again so that things start moving between the two of you via quantity time or a date night.
Okay.
I think that would help things out. And at the beginning of this conversation, both of you were talking about, Valentine's Day shouldn't be your only day to go out.
Right.
You should be doing stuff together. Yeah. And now you're saying, it's so much effort.
No. I didn't say go out. I never said go out. I said Valentine's Day is a cop-out for people that don't think that it's an everyday commitment. You don't remember me? Cinematically retarded. I haven't seen a movie with anyone other than you in the last 4 years, and that's 2 movies.
Right, yeah.
You know, let's go to movies.
Right, well, I'm going to...
honestly,
go ahead.
well, if I had Ronnie to stinking cook me a romantic dinner, I would never leave the house either. Damn.
Hey, your wife makes the best upside-down pineapple cake in the world.
Yes, she does.
That's right.
She makes the best stuff, honestly.
But she's not going to make anything for you on Valentine's Day after she hears any of this stuff.
No, actually, see, here's how we work it. We just think we see the world the same, and that's what you should look for in a spouse. You're not somebody who's like you, but you see the world similarly. That she has the opportunity to talk a friend of hers into going out for Valentine's Day on a Monday so she can babysit and make us some money. And we're both like, yeah, do that. That's romantic. Bring in money. Yeah. We like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take a moment right now, and we're going to work on our I'm going to send this out to the chat room. So those of you, hopefully you're listening to me in the chat room and not just talking amongst yourself, as I see that you're doing. Valentine's Day is founded because of Saint Valentine and everything that happened with him. He was actually a martyr and brought to sainthood. I think that what happened was in 269 was when Valentine was martyred, and then in 500 he was made into a saint, and then 1969 he was removed off the saint calendar. Yes, I have Wikipedia too. However, what was the country that this all happened in? And you have to answer in the chat room, and then find a way. Naomi Mimi will let us know who that person is, and that person will win a book. You know, a copy of my book. And if you already got my book, give it to a friend. So you guys are going. You guys are going. We already have somebody, but I wanted to be more specific. I see Italy. I see England. I see France. But
I see.
What was the name of the country back then? They were talking about 269. What was it called back then?
Oh,
Boot.
there we go.
Oh.
All right, well, I'll let you guys deal with that. Uh-oh.
That's close, M-Garbs, almost. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Italy.
So, wasn't
Capital of
Valentine's
Italy.
Day actually a massacre?
What now? No, yeah, you're talking about, that was Chicago, wasn't it? St. Valentine's Massacre? St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
The same.
That was Chicago. And you know, Chicago's for lovers.
Okay, while you're getting your answers up, Hugh got it.
You got it. Well, we're going to find out Hugh's information and send him a book. So that will be congratulations. We will do another contest at the end of this.
Do you have this book on the Kindle?
I believe it is on Kindle, but that is not through me. That is through Serena, or you might be able to get it off of Amazon. I think you can get it on Kindle.
Yes,
So
you
there.
can get it on Kindle.
There you go. I've got a yes on a Kindle.
So, my question about all this is, because I honestly do kind of take a cynical view of Valentine's Day because it's so over-commercialized. It so just plays to the weakness of everybody, both those in love and both those who don't have love and wish they did. Do you not feel that Valentine's Day has become such a commercial venture that it's taken away any kind of romantic meaning?
You know what? It is very commercial, and I think that a lot of holidays are very commercial, but it's what you make out of them. One of my favorite holidays of the year is Christmas. I love Christmas. I love going to the stores during Christmas, going to the mall during Christmas, and being out amongst humanity. Because even in the hustle and bustle, it's still a special time of year, and it touches me. So it's how I'm able to open my heart. It's how, but that's me personally. So with Valentine's Day, absolutely, but I can make it special. It can be special to me. You know, it's a fun thing to get little Valentine cards to your friends or receive them from your friends. It's a fun thing. So it depends on how you open your heart towards it. So sure it's that. But how do you treat it? That's the difference. That's what makes it special. I'm just saying. So Valentine's Day is a way that we can be romantic with each other. Valentine's Day, is just one way. A date night is another way to be romantic with each other. What is the importance of romance in our relationships? Once we're in a relationship and we've been together for a while, what is the importance of it? Anybody? Anybody? What is important? How is it important to you? For me, I will answer my own questions. Thank you very much. For me, romance is love's foreplay, and I like that phrase. Romance is love's foreplay. You know, as human beings, we're very sexual creatures. You know, we fall in love. We want to be together. We want cuddle time. We want to be able to touch each other. We want to be able to, to show each other that we love each other. Whether it's just making out, if you're still in high school, it's just making out, or you're whatever stage you are in your relationship, you want to be more and more intimate with each other. You don't go from hi honey, I'm home, let's go. That doesn't really work. It doesn't really work for most of the women I've talked to. Women tend to be more of a pot boiling. Women are water and men are fire, if you're talking energetically. Men are very quick to heat up and then burn out very quickly. Women, it takes a little while to warm up, and then once you get going, once you're boiling, everything's good. Romance is love's foreplay, because foreplay doesn't begin when you come through the door at night and then you start hugging and kissing. Foreplay begins early in the day when you're saying those nice things. When you're being, maybe it's a gift, maybe it's a romantic note. Maybe it's, wow, I really love dinner, thank you very much. Maybe it's a casual touch. But romance is something that happens throughout the day, throughout the week, so that when you get to that point of being really intimate, everybody's on the same level. Everybody's boiling or heated. And it's not just the physical act of wham, bam, thank you, man. What is that? Rock Girl says, men are microwaves, women are crock pots.
Nice.
So what does anybody that's in the not chat room, anybody who's talking to us, any comments on that?
Alan.
I've got
Alan. What's the phone number for them to call in?
813-413-7133. If you want to join the conversation, 813-413-7133. Thank you, Charles. I have been remiss in my duties in letting people know that here at Mordant World Live and The Other Side of Life, it is 813-413-7133. Call in and become a part. You don't have to talk the whole time. You can also just call in, say what you have to say, and get out. It's all good.
I thought you said wham, bam, thank you, man was not acceptable.
I'm saying it's not the only way. Everyone... We're talking about romance, my friend. Oh, look, we do have a call coming in. Thank God. Welcome, new caller.
He doesn't love us anymore, Charles.
Hello?
Okay, no.
What?
New caller. He doesn't love us anymore.
You have to mute your video.
Yeah, whoever's calling in, please mute your video.
Okay.
It's the princess.
I muted all, so I don't know why that's doing that.
I don't know how to do this. Okay, I did it.
I can hear. Hello, princess.
I only
Ricky,
hear
is
one
your own-
person.
Who do you hear?
Okay, cool. Well, there are more of us here.
Yeah. So anybody.
And then there's dead air. I was going to say, we have a game in our household. And, oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about
As we can see-
romance we have a game we play in our household, and it's a household of two, and I guess if we were to give it a name, it's probably the gratitude. Just two people in work and life together. You're a series of vignettes. You know, you're going to go do this thing, and then you're going, and every now and then you can look up and realize that the movie that your life is awesome. And so the game is to be the first one to say, man, I got it good. And really mean it. And
Right.
so it's just, you know, it's just this fun little thing that hubby and I do. Probably, I mean, honestly, not to try this savvy game, because it didn't start out, oh, I want to play this game. Do. It's this thing that we mean, you know. And it's good.
Right. You're kind of breaking up there a little bit, I think.
Well, I got it.
Did you good?
So
It was
yes,
good.
but
You're just gonna have to wonder.
Chicky 3737 is one who's on the phone, and she's not cheeking at the microphone very much.
Oh, but she's there. See? There she is. What?
So what do you have to say about anything? You're pointing up at each other. Great.
Okay. So,
Wait at you. Wait.
my whole thing
No.
is that as a younger person, no offense to anyone,
Anyways, go on.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Kind of growing up, like with the whole Disney generation of the prince will come and sweep you away type thing. I mean, growing up, all the girls kind of think that, and they all kind of get boyfriends right before Valentine's Day, and then kind of break up about a month later. And that's just kind of how it was in school. And I never partook in that. But I do think that is.
They heard the song Gold Digger and thought it was a theme. I don't know.
So what about that
Nobody
whole
knows
Prince
Gold Digger?
Charming, and what about that whole? Yes, we do.
The whole Prince Charming
If they
doesn't live
play
there
it-
anymore.
They play it on Glee. We know it. That's all I'm saying. What about the whole Prince Charming princess mentality that we have? You know, somebody's going to come, and my knight in shining armor is going to come and whisk me away and make everything perfect again. You know, or I'm going to marry a princess that our relationship's going to be perfect, and we're going to live happily ever after. And, you know, we've won everything. We've defeated the dragon. We've beat the evil witch, and so now everything's perfect at this point. And then reality comes, and then life is hard.
Right.
It's almost like when you fall in love with something that you want to do in life. You know, so I want to be a writer. So I'm going to do this, and all of a sudden you start immersing yourself in that, and you realize it's a lot of work. And if you really want to be a writer, you push through that part. The same thing with a relationship. You know what? I'm really in love with you, and I want us to have a relationship. And then it gets hard. But you push through that. You know, I'm reading or listening to Seth Godin. He talks about the dip. And the dip is that thing that you know, our talent brings us into something, but if you really want to become successful at something, you have to push through where it stops being fun and then it kind of dips off. And if you want to get to the other side, you have to push through that. And I think the same thing is with a relationship. And the hard part with a relationship is you get to that point where you're pushing through the dip, and then you just got your head down and you're getting through it, and you do get to the other side, but you forget about the fun part again. You forget about, oh yeah, there's romance in here too. And you know how to make it work, but then it's still just work. You want to keep the romance with you while you're making it work. And everybody's frozen. Hey, we're back. So that's what I think about that.
And Rocco,
Yeah.
Rocco,
My
put in the
problem
chat
with
room.
it. my problem with the princess knight in shining armor situation.
Yes.
Oh, everybody's frozen again.
That's okay. I can hear you.
It's okay. Prince and Princess, Shining Armor.
Oh, you can?
We hear you.
Yeah, I hear you fine. Because you're on Skype. You're not actually coming through Stickum.
Oh, sorry. So the deal is that then you're not actually talking about a partnership. What you're talking about is a rescuer and a victim. And that's not anything that I'm shopping for, you know. And all of those are set up. It's like if you are going to work your way out of a learned helplessness, then you have to, like, throw away the whole princess concept.
Right.
Or create, you know, be the princess who slays her own dragons and then meet somebody worthy of you. You know, it's like create your own fairy tale. I have nieces, and shopping for fairy tales that I want to read to them is work.
Right.
You know, we're raising powerful young women, and Disney's not helping. You know.
So yeah, but I think you also have to be careful that you don't go to the other side of the spectrum either, where you become I'm so independent I don't need anybody, and then you almost, you know, then you don't need anybody. And who wants to be a part of that? So there's a point where you're independent. You can take care of yourself. I can open my own doors, but don't become so far on the other side. You know, we're talking about the balance between masculine and feminine energies. Then, you know, and there's masculine in each of us, there's feminine in each of us, and we all reach a healthy balance. You know, you see very strong women tend to wind up with more metrosexual men. You know, and that's why you have the big, strong guy with a very tiny woman a lot.
You're going to go tell the guy? You're going to go tell the hubby that? All right.
No, but you have a very feminine innate. You know, you have a healthy balance. You're not. I've never seen you. You're also very different with him. Whenever he comes around, you're a lot less, I can do everything. You know, you open yourself up to that. And he also, you know, he's very, very, you know, very, you know, pushing things through, very much a coach. But I see him be a lot softer around you. So there's a healthy balance there. So what I'm saying is you have to have a healthy balance so that you can open up to each other, be vulnerable with each other. Because I think that's the best part of a relationship is you find somebody you can be vulnerable with and learn stuff with. You know, being a single guy, there's only so much I can learn about what I have to do in my life by myself. You know, I can level up this part of me, but if I ever want to level up this part, that comes in the relationship. And that's the big mystery. Woo. All right, silence. Excellent.
What about some of these questions?
We've got a good question and a bit of a conversation going on here in the chat room from the Fat American Bastard. I'm not sure if I can say that out loud without giggling. So most relationships need to be 50-50. What about when it seems really one-sided? Your thoughts on that?
I agree. You know, more 50-50 or even more, and this is a weird concept, more 75, you know, 75 or 100. You know, when you just balance everything out 50-50, you know, you'll do your stuff, you know, you'll do the dishes half the time, I'll do them the other half. You'll take care of the, you know, the cooking and whatever half the time, I'll take care of the other half. You'll kill half the bugs, I'll kill the other half. You know, that's fine for a little while, but you also want what's natural inside you. Are you more masculine inside you? You know, are you more that person? You're going to find somebody who's just a little more feminine, and it's almost like an ebb and flow. But if it's all one-sided, that sounds almost like a domination thing. It's all me. It's I'm going to guide us all the way through this, and I'm not going to listen to you. You will do exactly what I say. You know, that's not even masculine and feminine ebb and flow. There comes a time where somebody, somebody says, no, I want to be guided. I want somebody else to pick, the move, the dinner. Here, I'll throw you these 3 things, but you pick the dinner tonight. So it's not always just 50-50, but almost 75-75, 100-100. But if it's all just one-sided, I think the other person tends to lose himself. And then what are they offering in the relationship?
So what happens, to the flip side of his question, was what happens when it feels like the other person just takes you for granted, that they're not putting into it?
Aha. What happens then? We allow certain things to happen to us. So on some level, you have to give that other person permission. I'm going to let you take advantage of me. Now, maybe you've gotten so used to that kind of behavior that that's all you are. And then you're suddenly victim and control freak. So what do you do then? Why did it get to that point? Why are you comfortable with that? For some people, that's what love is. That they're raised that way in a family. That's what they learned from mommy and daddy. That's what love is. And we find those people that kind of fit into the divots that our life has created. Now, how do you get out of that? How do you start taking back some of that ground? Does it become a struggle then? Do you want it to become suddenly it's a war instead of an opening of the heart? A war instead of loving each other? Is that what you want? Or are you going to find a way where both of you can find common ground and do that give and take? And it becomes play. A relationship should definitely have play in it. I'm just saying. And, romance.
I know my biggest struggle, one of my biggest struggles has been finding the balance between I wish she would do more for herself and I wish she would let me do more for her. I've had both of those frustrations at different times.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that workaholics should hook up with other workaholics. Because then there's never, there's no time for us. There's 2 mad brainstorming people, which is good. And then you don't have the, I'm doing everything. You have the, thanks for doing that. I was just about to get to that.
Right.
But
and what happens when
there are other workaholics that have hooked up with people that aren't, it doesn't always work.
Right. And maybe you're speaking 2 different languages. Gary Chapman, am I saying that right? Gary Chapman has a book out called The 5 Love Languages. And he talks about how, he's a counselor and he has talked to many different couples. And the guy is saying, you know what, I put a roof over her head, I put food on the table, I do this and this and this. She doesn't think I love her. What's the problem? And then he talks to the woman and she's like, he doesn't spend any time. He's always working. Well, the problem is that, you have different love languages speaking. So if I have somebody who's talking to me in French saying how wonderful they think I am or how much they love me, it's great, but I don't understand. So it doesn't feel like I'm being loved. Which brings us to our second contest. Back to the chat room. If you can name those 5 love languages, you will get a copy of my book, Why Real Women Drink Straight Tequila, The Tao of Intimacy. Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. And then once Naomi Mimi tells us that has happened, I'll talk about the 5 love languages as well. Again, if you want to call in, it is 813-413-7133. I want to say hi. There's a copy of the book right there on Chicky 3737. I want to say hi to David Powell and Detached Lotus, who have both joined us in the videos but are being very, very quiet. We're not ignoring you. Know that you are loved. So David's answering the love languages: French, German, English, Spanish, German. Oh, German, yeah, very love language, yeah.
The X-ray is Kyle.
The what?
Never mind.
All right. German counts twice. There you go. Looks like this is not being answered very good. I might have to give a different contest question so we can get into talking about this.
Wait, love languages? Give them a little time.
5 love languages.
Oh, there, she's got it.
Boom, baby.
No.
Rochelle Fast. Rochelle Fast. Everybody applaud. All the video people applaud. That's right. There we go. All right, 2 of us did it. Thanks for playing. 3 of us. There 4. And David's still trying to answer the German thing. She's absolutely right.
I can't tell who got it first. Rochelle popped up first, but it looks like Glenn, Gary, G, whatever, got it in first.
You know what? That would look like it was 2 of those. I'm going to give away 2 books. 1 for each of them. So go ahead and we'll find a way to get their information. Maybe we'll email them or whatever. Naomi, Mimi, that's all you. Thank God I don't have to worry about that. So absolutely, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Somebody Googled it. I can tell. Words of affirmation, saying those things to each other that I love you. I love the way that you do this. I'm so happy that, saying those things, supporting your partner through words. Quality time, spending time together. Date night, things like that. Receiving gifts, of course, we all understand that. It's one of my personal favorites. Physical touch and acts of service, taking out the garbage. Cooking dinner when somebody is, whether it's the woman or the man who's out of the job, taking care of the kids, doing things for each other. And these are all based on, they come about from our family life as we were growing up. So if you're out working, trying to, do things for your mate, bringing money in so that you can put a roof over their head, and all they want is to spend time with you, you better make sure that you're spending that time, because otherwise, Gary Chapman talks about the love tank. Love tank. When you're speaking the language, the love tank starts getting fuller. But when you're not, it starts emptying out. So until at the very end of it, it's almost like there's no love at all. Now, for me, love is an opening of the heart. You can love a dog. My heart, I feel that warmth. You love your car. You love your spouse. It's an opening of the heart. But love is also a verb. It's also action. So you have to make sure that you're doing something for each other, with each other, romancing each other, date night, taking out the garbage.
Hey, I believe Naomi Mimi is going to pop in with a question here.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Or she's not. I'll do it.
Or she's not.
Amy Eros says, which is what Amy Love. What if you have never been in a relationship? And followed up with or ever been in love by Gallo 47.
Well, as far as being in love, I'm sure we've all experienced an opening of the heart. I would like to think that, unless on some level it's been a very difficult life.
What about the relationship?
One of the things that if you've never been in a relationship, we learn from our parents. We learn from those people around us. As human beings, we connect with each other. And when that happens, synapses fire in your brain, the synapses fire in the other person's brain. You're going to a movie, you're going to watch TV, you're going to watch a play, you're going to read a book. And it's just like dreaming. Even though you've never done this thing before, you can experience it through somebody else. The same things happen. Your brain can't tell the difference between whether or not you're dreaming or it's real life. So on some level, you can learn, you can watch and see what that's like. So I don't understand the question. If you've never been in a relationship, then what are you asking? Unless it's just if you've never experienced it.
The 5. Like, how do you know which way that you're giving it and which way you're actually giving it away, or getting it and giving it away?
How do you know when it's happening? Or anybody? Yeah. Naomi, Mimi, Charles, Bueller.
Maybe she's. Is it a love language question?
Yeah.
Are you trying to ask how do you know what love language you speak? It is a really good book. The 5 love languages.
Asked about that.
Yeah, as Ronnie was saying, it is a very good book. You can read it. You can listen to it. I'm sure it's available on audible.com, one of my personal favorites. Shameless plug. Woot woot. For them.
And if you guys look at the chat room, I just posted a link to the book on Amazon, so you can check it out.
Sweet.
So you can you can find out about that. But as far as, having never been in a relationship, what is that like? It's something that needs to be experienced. Like I said, you can learn it from watching your family and friends. And
I think the most important thing about any relationship is take everything you've seen with a grain of salt and learn to listen to the other person, how they actually communicate their love, instead of what you expect to hear from TV or from other relationships around you.
I think communication is the key.
Yeah.
We team up with each other, not just to, have a secure household, but because we have some affection and attraction to the other person. And we want to communicate with each other. That other person jazzes us. Hopefully they become our best friend. Not our only friend, but our best friend. And so as you're working together as a team to move forward, you're also working together on a really intimate relationship, a friendship, and then a physical intimacy. And you can help work out the things that you couldn't work out by yourself. I think that's part of a relationship's job, to help you learn things that you can't learn by yourself. You learn it with a partner. You learn how to love somebody else. You learn how to play fair. You learn how to share. You learn how to give and take. You learn how to not get your way all the time. You learn how to lose gracefully and win by doing so. You learn how to be a better human being. I think that's a relationship's job. And we can get to that. We can get to that by ourselves at a certain level. Probably way up. But if we can get this high by ourselves, we can get higher with somebody else.
Oops, lost my sound.
Yeah, me too.
Or maybe he stopped talking. Did you just stop talking?
No. Say something, Ricky. No.
He's going to talk about him in the other room.
He's a mime.
His microphone isn't working.
I'm no bueno. I know that. So, Ronnie, how long have you been married?
Well, I've been married 9 years, but Phil and I have been together for 21 years, almost 22 years. Had a little trial period there first.
Yeah, that's a big trial pre-period there. What made y'all do that?
It was funny. I think he was actually afraid to ask me, but because my parents married and divorced each other 5 times, and I would joke about it. That marriage wasn't really a thing to me, but we fell in love with a little house and a yard full of 40 avocado trees, and he proposed under an avocado tree. Hey, there's Ricky.
Yes.
Hey.
It helps when I don't hit my mute button.
Love it, man. I gotta love it.
Gold was coming from my mouth. Gold, wonderful stuff. Lost now forever.
And well, now look at it this way. Since I'm recording on my end, we've got a secret conversation that you get as bonus material.
Yeah, baby.
Well, let me ask this. This is one for the new age or whatever. Ronnie was just saying she thought her husband was a little tentative to ask her to get married because they were together a long time before they actually got married. Does anybody think it's okay for the woman just to go ahead and ask the man to get married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on that as someone that got married very young. And you guys probably, many of you won't agree with me, a little old-fashioned. I personally don't think that it is because you need to let the guy make that move and kind of call out that masculinity in him. Because you don't, having been married and been in a couple very serious relationships, if the woman is the one that's setting the tone, the pace for the relationship, just from personal experience, the guy's never really going to be on. just
Out there?
that relationship dynamic works out. But as far as just in general, you want to make him chase you, and you want to encourage him to step up and be the man that you want him to be. Otherwise, and again, I'm just speaking from personal experience, it's not going to work in your favor. So there you go.
How does everybody feel about that?
Well, I would say that I think it's okay. I didn't. I didn't propose after 12 years with somebody.
You did
you
not
want to?
Although, I hadn't really. I was pretty sure that we were that we were solid where we were. In fact, I had even gone to Nolo.com and ordered the Living Together handbook so that we could have all the paperwork to try to have the same rights as married people. Now, in my world, the universe is conspiring to work in my best interest. So we got married in February. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May. And the way that the medical field deals with a married couple is completely different
Yes.
than the way that they deal with people that have been together for 12 years. We could have known each other 3 weeks and been married, and the medical field still would have treated us better as a married couple than they would have as life partners who've been together 12 years.
Right.
Yep.
So
I'm going to say that according to Greg Behrendt and Liz Tuccillo of He's Just Not That Into You, they agree with Naomi Mimi.
Uh-huh.
They polled 20 of their friends, 20 guys, and 100% of them said they did not wind up with a woman who asked them out. They all wanted to do the chase. They all wanted to do that. They wanted to be that person in the relationship. They wanted to take that lead. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule. Always, always, always. There's never an absolute. And then you get into the more of the masculine and feminine in each of us. If you have a really masculine woman who winds up with a really feminine guy, and what they have works, then of course. But if you're talking about somebody who is more feminine, a woman who is more feminine, a man who's more masculine, he is going to want to ask her. He's going to want to ask her out. He's going to want to set that pace. Now, of course, it's a woman's right to be able to say, well, where are we in this relationship? To be an active part in it. But according to those authors, they side with, I believe that was Naomi Mimi.
yeah, I think so.
Yes.
And I did just listen to that recently.
Well, what about the ultimatums when you've been, as a woman, when you've been in a relationship for a while and that guy's just lazy? He's just comfortable. He's not moving off to the next step. What about do they not have, I know ultimatums are never a good thing, but isn't there a point when the woman can go, look, I love you, but this is crap, Oh.
Right. Well, then you're finding out
there is
exactly.
a fish or cut bait.
Yeah,
sorry?
yeah, like fish or cut bait. That's what she said.
Right.
Fish or cut bait.
Right. Yeah. There's a point where you can get to and see, is that guy really? Is he really? After 5 years that you're together, is he still trying to figure out if he's in love with you enough to get married? Maybe it's time for you to go, you know what? I'm going to look for somebody who's ready for me because I'm fantastic. Because I don't want to wait 5 more years for you to figure that out. If you're talking about 3 months, well, you have a right to see whether he is really that into you, or is it just, whatever reason.
Is it good?
Yeah, we have again. And I was going to say, coming from living with someone for the last 3 years and talking a lot about getting married. We moved in together after a couple of months and had very intense, very very close relationship, and we talked a lot about marriage and our future and family, and we talked about it a lot for the entire 3 years we were together. And I went out on the road for a couple of months, and because we had to figure out some things, and he wasn't, honestly, not that into me, because he broke off the relationship and found someone that he is that into, and they're getting married this July. But even after years and years and years, Patrick wasn't lazy. He just really was not that into me. So, to me, it's it's just if he is that crazy about you, he will move heaven and earth to be with you. And
Right.
as a woman, we just have to let him do that.
And if he is lazy, let me throw in, if he is lazy, do you really want to be with lazy guy?
No.
You know, how you do anything is how you do everything. T. Harv Eker, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Naomi, I got to ask, though, do you regret spending 3 years with him, or was it 3 years of good time that you had with a guy that you enjoyed being with?
Patrick was my best friend, and we had a lot of very hard times. We had a lot of very angry times, and we had a lot of very wonderful, beautiful times. And I don't regret it because I learned so much about myself, about what I do and do not want. And it was hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I spent months, I cried every day. And it's only been in the last month or so that I can think about our time together without really sharp pain. But I don't regret it because what we had together was amazing, and I enjoyed it. And I am sad that it's over. I do miss him, but there's going to be something better for me out there. And I wish him well, and I want to be better for it and not get bitter and nasty, because then, guys, who really wants to be with a bitter, bitchy woman? No one.
And those of you who are with somebody and you are waiting, and you have to ask yourself, Dan Savage talks about the price of admission. Is this worth the price of admission? If this person is going to be this way and they're not going to change, maybe they're dragging their feet or whatever it is it worth the price of admission to not get married, to stick it out with this person because you're just enjoying the ride? If that's good enough, and your relationship should be more than just good enough, but if that works for you, that's a better terminology. If that works for you, that's worth the price of admission. But you can't be mad with them later because you're making that decision. Well, he made me wait. Nobody's making you do anything.
No.
So,
well, I want to say that Phil and I were together for 12 years before we even thought about getting married. Marriage was not important to me.
Right.
It wasn't like I was waiting for him to do something. I really had that everything was perfect where it was. Now, things are even better now, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a good question for Mr. Mon and the rest of you guys. Why get married? What's the point of it?
You don't deal with all the paperwork in your house, do you, Charles?
No, I do understand that. No, I'm just throwing it out. I'm asking. I'm married. I love being married. I got engaged within 6 months. I went after what I wanted and I got it.
All right, married guy, you tell us why marriage? Come on, you're the resident.
I have my own show. I can talk about this on my own show. It's your show. Why would you get married?
Yeah, I pool my resources, and right now you and Ronnie Rocks and a few others out there. Why? Why did you get married? Because it was the next step, wasn't it?
It was
because you wanted to take it to another level, didn't you? Now there is the Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn School of Living Together Forever and Ever and Ever. There's also that. If that works for you, that's your thing. But if marriage is the next step for you and you both want to do it, and that's where you want to take it to, not even mentioning all the legal benefits that being together, we all know that our healthcare system is a little wonky. If you're married, you get to be there. You get to be there if something goes wrong. If you're just dating, But that's not the only reason. I think for most people, because they want to take it to the next level. Hopefully it's not just because the other person wants to. Hopefully that's not the reason. Hopefully you both want to go and they want to create a life together, and that's why. Otherwise, there's the Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn School of Living Together Forever. Na-na-na-na-na.
What do you think, Ronnie?
I think that sometimes it is ready to take it to the next level, but I don't know that I even knew that there was a next level, But you're saying why get married? That was your question?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to say
a lot of
I don't want to say why not, because I don't want to trivialize it. But I want to say that making a commitment to be everything to your partner makes you up your game. So
yeah.
it's a big. I'm playing a bigger game here than I was as a partner. And I didn't know that I would be. I thought I was playing the biggest game I could play, but I would say I'm playing a bigger game now. That might be bad language to be using, because I'm not talking about game playing, but like as far as like being in there to win and being in there to like make sure it works. That's where I am now. And I would have said that I was before, but there's a different energetic to married life than to partnering.
Yeah, I agree. I think. I mean, I was raised religious.
Charles, I'm going to have the whole married people conversation here.
No, I get it.
All the single people are quiet right now. Teach us, O wise ones.
Oh, we listen to the wise ones.
Well, it's the mutual benefit factor. I mean, you can relate to any. Here's for the single guys out there. Okay, for David, this is for you. Take any action guy movie that blows up everything, and they have that one enemy that they don't like, but they have to work with the enemy because they have to only together can they win. It's this is a guy metaphor, of course, but it's that mutual benefit. It's when you commit yourself that if one fails, you both fail. You work that much harder than when you're just dating. I mean, I literally had a thought when we were dating that I might not stay with this woman because she was a little crazy. I had to look in the mirror and realize I was a little crazy too, that it matched. But when we're married, you don't have that thought. You go, if I walk away from this, if this marriage fails, we all fail. If she fails, I fail.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Yeah.
But when she wins,
backdraft, if you go, we go.
Yeah, there you go. It's that ultimate team that in a good marriage, at least, that you always have somebody to get your back. You always have somebody to pick you up, and you always have somebody to lean on and turn to. When the world's against you, it's not me against the world, it's us against the world. And that makes all the difference in the world. So go get married, Ricky. On.
Why, Charles, are you asking? That's a completely different podcast.
Well, the argument against marriage is, why should I kowtow to the man and do all the paperwork? It's just a legal thing. Well, I mean, there's that. There's many people have mentioned health benefits. You can't get benefits if you're not married typically. Sometimes you can. But, I mean, everybody's experience, Ronnie, you're talking about going to the hospital. You don't go to the hospital if you're not married because you can't do crap. I mean, you really will get shut out. And if the in-laws hate you, you're screwed.
Right.
Yep.
And when does your life partner, your loved one, need you the most? When they're at the hospital. So get married for that reason. Yeah. So you can be there when they need you.
Right. If you want to spend your life together in our society, it seems like the best way to go. To protect yourself, to protect your union.
It allows a legal recognition of the fact that you're two halves of a whole at this point in your lives. And I mean, you're already living like that, but it kind of forces the rest of the world to look at you that way also.
Right.
Well, there's also that jump too, isn't it? It's going from the learner's permit to the driver's license. You're driving, but you're driving with somebody holding your hand. When you get married, you got nobody holding your hand. You're driving on your own.
So we started off with romance and talking about romance and relationship. We started off talking about dating, and then we moved into romance being love's foreplay. Now that we've done that, we're now into the married relationship during the span of our time talking together today. So when we start talking about kids, it's like speed dating. We've gone through a whole relationship in our over an hour. Awesome. I want to say I'm gonna shamelessly plug right now. Everybody who's come in today, if you like what you're seeing here, feel free to friend invite me on Stick'em so that we can all be friends here. You can find me in different places on the web, on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'm sure Naomi will put those things up. And we can form a relationship together. And I'll try not to be late anymore for our dates. I apologize. Next time I'll bring roses.
Sure.
In fact, next time, when is next time? Do I have that up yet? No, of course not. It's in 2 weeks, Tuesday in 2 weeks. And it's going to be our Valentine's Day Afterglow. We are going to be talking about what happened on those dates. What happened? What did you do for Valentine's Day? And maybe we'll get a little bit more into the sexy talk. Maybe we'll talk about heart connection. What?
So I should just call out sick for that one? Is that what you're saying?
No, brother. You ground us. We need you there. And those of you who are going to sit home alone by yourselves, you can talk about that too. Put in a romantic movie or whatever it is you do. Eat your bonbons, and I might be doing that too on my Valentine's Day. You know, or hanging out with friends.
Champagne cocktails.
Yeah. What did you say? Hot bath and champagne cocktails? That's why you're getting married. That's why. So you can do that stuff. David writes, is writing code okay? You are a sexy mother.
And I want to say we are about to restart putting out your podcast. It's going to be The Other Side of Life. We're going to put up a new feed, and everybody will be able to find it. We got a new website being built for Mordant World. And if you as listeners, if you want to help Mr. Mordant Mon out here, email him, mordant@mordantworld.com, to let him know you'll do some reading, you'll do some voiceover work, any little thing. You'll help get the word out on the street, be the street team. We're really going to be pushing the Mordant World podcast, which is The Other Side of Life, coming out in the next month or two. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get a Ronnie Rocks podcast out coming late summer. Just saying.
Hey, I'm going to get there the second week of April.
I know, we're gonna have some
meetings. There's your guest room behind me. Do you see it?
Yeah, I've been there. I stayed up there with 2 other Tortugas. How romantic was that? Yay.
Right, but I got to brag about having a house full of hot men. It was great.
Yeah. And your husband was like, you better be including me in that.
So where can they find you every day when you're not Stickam?
Me?
Yes, you.
Everything I do goes through Facebook.com or Facebook.com/MordantWorld. You know, I'm saying things on Twitter. Hello, Arrow Goddess. I'm saying things on Twitter. And of course, MordantWorld.com. We are revamping that, so you'll be able to find things there. On YouTube, I've started doing. I had kind of a 2-week lull with my video blog, so I'm doing that again. I put out a new one recently. So, boom, busy.
Can I
and of course, yes.
Okay. So, Gordon actually also does life coaching, and I am one of his students for that. And I can definitely vouch and say that he's helped me a lot with relationships that I've been going through, just life problems in general. It's very nice to be able to call him when I need him. Like, help me, and actually have him be there and help me with the problems that I'm going through. So if you are having some problems, I definitely suggest hooking up with him on Facebook or, sending him a message through email or whatever, and he will definitely be able to help you out with that. Just wanted to make sure that I got that in there.
Thank you. Yes, I do a little bit of life coaching too, and you can contact me through Mordant@MordantWorld.com. But I also want to pimp out Ronnie Rocks, RonnieRocks.com, and you are a resident foodie, and you are doing you do a foodie blog, and you've begun doing almost like a show on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I just started with that. I was trying to upload. Today was I drove into a different town for one meeting today, and then ended up having 3 meetings. And delivering a custom baked item into a private arboretum. So I have kind of an interesting vlog going up today. But in the middle of me making cookies and trying to do a little vlog, people walked into the side of it and interrupted. So it's weird, but I'm getting better at it. I still, one computer has this software. I need to call you guys and have a private conversation about vlog editing software.
All right.
What's available, blah, blah, blah. But it's still getting better. But
not a problem.
YouTube, Ronnie Rocks on YouTube.
Excellent. And on Facebook, right?
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. I've got the card with the blog address on it, but I do more on Ronnie Rocks on Facebook than I do just about any place else because it's easy and fast. And then I'm Ronnie on Twitter. And I'm pretty active on there.
And it's RHONNI for those of you who are checking that out. I just want to say I see somebody in the house who's kind of keeping it on the down low. I think Tegan the Terror has made an appearance. I want to give a shout out to her. You can find her on Twitter and I think on YouTube, whether it's, I think it's under Tegan the Terror on Twitter for sure, and maybe Facebook. So Tegan the Terror. And those of you who complain about me doing my video blogs while driving, you can blame her because I saw her doing it, and if she can do it, I can do it, okay?
Is Tegan Elliott the same as Tegan the Terror?
That's right, yeah. It is. I don't know how well known she wants to be.
That's secret. It's secret.
No. She has a fan page. She has a public fan page, Tegan Elliott. It's facebook.com/Tegan Elliott.
That's right.
She wants her fans to go. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Elliott.
You're right. I'm totally
And it's Elliott with 2 L's and 2 T's. 2 and 2. Whatever.
Just Google hot redhead and you'll find it.
So thank you. I want to thank everybody.
Right.
On this discussion about romance and relationships. I think we're going to just carry it up because we've already gone an hour and 15 minutes. Although we started late. I want to thank everybody for showing up and invite you to come back in 2 weeks on a Tuesday. I don't have that date in front of me. Wait, I do have that date. It is the day after Valentine's Day, the 15th. We're going to talk about, it's going to be our Valentine's Day afterglow, and we'll continue our talk about romance, relationships. Maybe we'll get more into the price of admission. You'll have to remind me I said this. Or whatever. If you're enjoying this, please come and see us again. It will be again at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. For those of you in Arizona, that is 7 p.m. That's provided there's no, there's no technical difficulties like this time. Thank you for your patience. So, is there anything else? Am I missing anything else?
Good night.
I want to say thank you very much. Good night. Thank you for spending time here on Mordant World Live and The Other Side of Life, brought to you by Mordant World Media and the Bear Crawling Media as well, Bear Crawling Nation. Welcome, as always, to my Mordant World. Ciao, ciao.
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on a radio, stereo, the way you move ain't fair, no. Hey, soul sister,